What up, folks? I'm back once again doing another video game review, and this time I'm reviewing Donkey Kong for Game Boy. Now, it this particular game is pretty much based on the arcade classic of the same name that was released by Nintendo in 1981. Around that time, and it was of course ported to consoles that particular decade, like ColecoVision and the NES when that came out. And pretty much, the plot is pretty much like the original arcade game where Donkey Kong kidnaps Sylvia, who is Mario's girlfriend, and now he's on a mission to rescue her from Donkey Kong. The one thing about this game is it starts off with the first three stages that's in the original Donkey Kong arcade game, but unlike the original, it has more stages to it because Nintendo had pretty much decided to add more levels to this particular handheld game, and this is a pretty good addition. Not only that, there are some stages where you can pretty much fight Donkey Kong in pretty much in a boss battle, which is also different and a good addition. Plus, you can there's like more enemies in the game than that was introduced in this version of Donkey Kong. That's of course not in the original. And they're like I would say like fishes. Some of the enemies had wear masks and stuff like that. And one thing about the stages is that each of them is different from each other from a level design standpoint, something which I do like. And as far as fighting Donkey Kong in the boss battles, the strategy on each stage is pretty much different, and the weapons are different also. And it's pretty much safe to say the weapon you use is based on the stage you're on. You know. Plus, if you collect like 3 specific items on a particular level, you pretty much rewarded with a 1-up. And another thing is that was added was a save feature to Donkey Kong for Game Boy. I honestly believe that was because of Donkey Kong Country for Super Nintendo, because that particular game got a save feature also. And pretty much after you defeat Donkey Kong in one of the boss battles, that's when you actually save the game. And honestly, I don't know how many levels there are in Donkey Kong, but they are divided into sections. How many sections there are does depend on the stage you're on. So like the first stage consists of the first mission, whatever you want to call it, pretty much consists of the first 3 original stages from the original Donkey Kong game. And one thing Mario can do in this particular game that's not in the original, he can do backflips and jump on Olympic like pose where he can able to jump to a higher platform and stuff. And that's another good addition to this particular game. And these additions that I mentioned, I do like because it adds different variation to the level design and the gameplay. Now, when it comes to the graphics and gameplay, graphics and level design for Donkey Kong, both of them are very good, and they're the best that I've seen on the Game Boy game. I would say it's both. It's more so the graphics I can say then the levels the same, but both of them I do like. And to me, the graphics have did age well for when it comes to Game Boy games. And I do like the gameplay because of the fact that the stuff that I mentioned, him flip doing backflips and stuff, are a good addition to the gameplay as a whole, because of the fact that these things weren't seen in the original. And I do like the soundtrack to it, and because of the fact that the soundtrack does fit Donkey Kong. Some may like it, some may not, but it's a matter of opinion on that one. One thing I did notice that some stages are harder than others, and that's like for some it might be a turn off, but it's not that big of a deal. One thing you could do on certain levels to get to point A to point B to on certain stages that you're able to pull levers. Of course, there's something that's also new that was programmed into the display of Donkey Kong. And one thing I can honestly say is that even though Donkey Kong for Game Boy isn't like the best game in the series, but it is worth playing, and I recommend anyone to pretty much play this particular game and own it. So as far as the score, I would definitely like give it an 8. I'll say a 9 because like silver screens do get annoying after a while. That's the only complaint I have. You know, some people if they would say like that's not really that big of a deal, you know, but it can get annoying after a while. Now, with that being said, if you like Donkey Kong for Game Boy, you can mention it in the comment section, or if you like any other of the Donkey Kong games in the franchise, you can mention that too. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy, Big Metroid Fan 12, signing off.